Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Tara Jones-Williamson, and yes, if you just watched my previous video, I have on the exact same outfit, same wig, same makeup because I am in my second trimester. I am a 35-year-old woman who is trying to manage her energy during this pregnancy. So you ain't getting all the outfit changes when I batch create content, sis. What you see is what you gonna get, all right? It's all about the content anyway, not about what I'm wearing. So it is what it is. Let's jump right into this video. I wanted to share how my first trimester went and some tips and tricks on what I did to get through it. Today is October 17th, 2024, and I am officially 13 weeks pregnant. And I hope this reverses to where it looks like 13 weeks. Okay, so if this is backwards, I'm going to put it like this. Oh, I can't. You get the gist. I'm 13 weeks pregnant, all right? Which means I'm officially out of my first trimester. And many of us know as moms who's been pregnant before that typically your second trimester is your best trimester because you no longer have like the morning sickness, the food aversion, all those things that's going on in the nausea, fatigue, and different things like that. Like you feel like your best. And then by the time you're in your third trimester, you big, the baby pushing on your diaphragm, you got to pee every 5 minutes, you like nesting and getting ready for the baby to come, Braxton Hicks contractions, your back hurt. For me, when I had my first child 15 years ago, her foot was in my rib so long that I had a bruised rib. That girl, she did me in. Like even after I gave birth to her, my lower right rib was still so sore. It was so sore for like 6 months after because she always kept her foot there. And so you all know the first trimester can be trying, and so can the third. And so for me, I am ready to maximize my second trimester because I don't know what's in store for me as a 35-year-old pregnant woman that's in her second trimester. All right. And so I just wanted to give you some tips and tricks if you are pregnant or plan to become pregnant and want to get some notes, tips, and tricks. Um, Take it from me. I've done these tricks for both pregnancies. Now, these pregnancies, the first trimesters have been different. However, the tips and tricks still work. All right. So this is my second full term pregnancy, although I've had two miscarriages already as well. So let's jump right in. Number one, don't get hungry. Don't let yourself get hungry. The moment you wake up, you need to have some crackers by your bed, either saltines, Ritz crackers. You could even do gluten-free crackers, whatever depends on your diet and what you need for your body. If you are gluten-free or if you have celiacs or something like that, get some gluten-free ones. I found some on Amazon, some gluten-free crackers that worked really well because I'm on a Mediterranean diet and it worked beautifully. Or you can use sourdough bread and dip it in olive oil, or you can do just use something simple that's shelf stable that you can put by the side of your bed to where as soon as you wake up, you got your water and you got something to eat. Okay? If you wake up and you up all night, don't let yourself get hungry, girl. You're gonna have to snack. This is not the time for intermittent fasting. Trust me, I tried. For those of us girlies who was intermittent fasting before we got pregnant, and we ain't pregnant, we think we're gonna have this healthy pregnancy. Girl, try that in the second and third trimester. Not in the first one, ma'am. Not in the first one, ma'am. Don't let yourself get hungry. Keep crackers in your car. Keep crackers at work. Keep crackers by your bedside. Keep crackers in your home office. Like that will tie you over in between meals. Because letting yourself get hungry, that's when the nausea and the morning sickness really kicks in. So even if you don't feel like eating, nibble on something. The other thing that really worked for me, and my mom said it worked for her as well when she was pregnant, she has 4 children, is popsicles. Because in the first trimester, if you're always nauseated and you're tired, sometimes you feel like eating is a chore. That's why I like crackers, and I also like popsicles because popsicles was cold. popsicles was like light, like it didn't like overstuff me, but it tricked my stomach into think I was eating something, so it stopped the nausea. So either I will have crackers in the morning, and typically at night I'll have a popsicle before I go to bed, and that typically soothed me, and I was just fine. And then throughout the day I'll have, a mix of either or. The second thing is drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. I typically drink a gallon a day, even when I'm not pregnant. I think that suffices even when you are pregnant. Yes, as you get later in your first trimester, because of the hormonal changes and because of the pressure that your swollen uterus is starting to put on your bladder, you can start feeling some incontinence or sneezing, and you got some leakage going on, and then you kind of feel the urgency to use a bathroom even more. That kind of subsides again in second trimester, but you do want to drink a lot of water and some good amount of water, because when you are fatigued and when you have, which is what I'm going to talk about next, is food aversion, you definitely want to make sure you're drinking enough water, and also taking your prenatal vitamins. All right. And then if I can add a third thing, some coconut water. Coconut water will help with your electrolytes. So we could just jump right into food aversion. In the first trimester, again, nauseated, morning sickness, tired, don't feel like being bothered with food sometimes, or you're craving certain things and it's not the healthiest. If you try to, in the first trimester, manage all of that, and lean into it while taking coconut water, regular water, and some prenatal vitamins, you should be getting all the nutrition you need for yourself and baby during the first couple of weeks of your pregnancy. That was the name of the game for me. I had a lot of food aversion. I did not have that with my daughter, but now this pregnancy, I mean, I couldn't cook. I couldn't be around food. I didn't like the smell of food, especially raw food, raw meat, raw anything. Even fruits and vegetables was repulsive. I couldn't drink smoothies. Like everything was repulsive. And so I really had to focus on, number one, what could I take? What could I intake in order to just get my energy up? And for me, I said, as long as I took my prenatal vitamins and as long as I got an adequate amount of water, as long as I got some coconut water in me to keep my electrolytes up, everything else is fair game. Everything else is fair game. I can get back on track, get back to healthy eating once I'm feeling better. But my main priority is getting some calories, some type of calories in. So whether it came from hamburgers, whether it came from fruit and vegetables only, whether it was a bunch of soup and broth, like every day was different in what I could tolerate. And so I didn't really focus on any macronutrient. I really wasn't focusing on protein and carbs or this or that. I just said whatever my body will tolerate, that's what I'm gonna eat because I need some energy to get through the day. That's pretty much what I did, and that's the name of the game in the first trimester. So get that coconut water, get those prenatal vitamins, and get some water in you, and you'll be good. Now, the next thing about food aversion that I felt really helped me was, number one, not cooking, not being around food. And if somebody was in the kitchen cooking, I was far away from the kitchen, typically had my window open or went outside or something like that as much as possible, because the strong smells of food made me gag, and also it made me more averse to the food. So I noticed if I didn't smell the food that was cooking while it was cooking, I was more likely to be able to eat it afterwards. If I smelled it while it was cooking, I was repulsed by it when it was time to eat. And so during the times where my husband was cooking or my daughter was cooking, or if we ate out or something like that, that was fine. Or if my dad brought me something to eat, my mom brought me something to eat, eating at my sister's house, I was able to do those things and supplement for the first 12 weeks, because me doing it myself was just a disaster. A disaster. So no foods with strong smells. If you have to cook for yourself, I'm talking about getting bland chicken noodle soup. Okay? Make you a sandwich. I did a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because that really didn't have a smell to me. I can do turkey sandwiches where I will get sourdough bread, get some mayo, And then I would heat up some of my deli meat, because when you're pregnant, you can't just eat it. Heat up some of my deli meat in a skillet, and then put it on a thing, make a sandwich with some little lettuce, and then I was able to eat it. So I ate a lot of low smell, no smell foods during my first 12 weeks. Once I got to the end of the 12 weeks, like the last couple of weeks, I've been able to tolerate a little bit more, but still that smell, being around too strong of a smell, no. I usually host a weekend brunch once a week, once a month. I wasn't able to go to those because just the smell of being in a restaurant repulses me, girl. It just repulses me. So couldn't do that. But the biggest thing is get food in however you can. You can worry about diet and nutrition and macronutrients and micronutrients and this and that later. Just do what you got to do to get your energy up. Another thing that I would say is that a friend of mine, shout out to Mary, a friend of mine had me do, and it was a game changer. So because I had food aversion, and it took me like all day to try to eat, because you're going between nausea and gagging and trying to convince your brain and your body to eat something. It took me all day to gain energy. Like, I'm tired and fatigued from being pregnant, but also tired and fatigued because I don't have enough calories in my body, because my body doesn't want any food, right? So what she told me to do, and it was so good, she's like, no, just eat. I'm sorry, let me adjust this light because the sun came out and it's washing me out. There we go. She's like, adjust your schedule to where you're meeting with clients or you're doing emails or anything for your business in the evening, when you have enough time throughout the day to make sure that you got enough calories in to have some energy. And once I realized that, it was a game changer. So for me, during the first trimester, I was still very tired in the morning, very nauseous, struggling to eat, gagging, everything else. All of that didn't stop subsiding or getting manageable until the evening, the late afternoon and evening, after I picked up my kids. Okay. And after I slept most of the morning. And so another tip could be, if you have the ability to do it, is to switch your schedule to where you're more productive in the afternoon and evenings versus the morning and early afternoon. That gives you time to sleep if you're super tired like me, and burping is a part of pregnancy, so excuse me. If you're super tired, give yourself that grace to sleep. Give yourself that grace to lay around, to have an easy morning, to ease into your morning. Sometimes I didn't get up out the bed until 11 to 12 o'clock during the day. And then I would meet with my clients later on, afternoon and evening, or do my emails, or do whatever I need to do until the evening. I was not getting much done, and I was not very productive during the morning. And so maybe that could help you as well. All right. The next thing is a tip that my dad gave me this time, because I didn't have gagging with my first child. This time I did. So he would tell me, put a little bit of salt on my hand and lick it. So like table salt, you can do Himalayan pink salt, you can do sea salt, whichever one that you have around that you prefer. If you're like in the middle of gagging, but you're not like throwing up, it's just that gag reflex is initiated. Just sprinkle a little bit of salt in your hand, not much, and then just lick it and keep it on your tongue for as long as possible. Let it dissolve, and it will stop triggering your reflexes. It'll make your gag reflex calm down. And I noticed that once my gag reflexes calm down, my eyes stop watering and I'm stopping to gag, then that is when I can go forward and eat something. So try that. A little bit of salt, put it on your hand, it'll stop the gagging, all right? Next thing, I started walking instead of doing strenuous exercises. So during that first trimester, girl, you are going to be tired. For most of us, we're tired, right? And so strenuous exercises, working out, getting on my Peloton was a no, ma'am. Picking up any type of dumbbell weight was a no. Going running was a no. Like, none of that. I'm not getting on no Stairmaster. I'm not doing any of that. You hear me? So for me, I just said, how can I get a couple of steps in? Is it up and down the stairs? Is it going walking, going to the grocery store instead of ordering my groceries, like doing different things in order to get a couple of steps in, but not really prioritizing strenuous workouts. Again, during your second trimester, and even if you're feeling well in your third trimester, you can do that, but you really have to baby yourself and really have to get your bearings during that first trimester and give yourself so much grace. And so don't try to keep up the exercise routine if you can't, right? Some people can, some people can't. I couldn't this time around. The first time I worked, I was doing all types of stuff. This one, for a couple of weeks, I was just like, whatever, just let me lay here. Let me lay here. I'll get some couple steps in doing something else, and we'll just see what goes from there. And so, yeah. The next thing I wrote down, if you're tired, girl, you're tired. Take a nap. Go to bed early. Get up late. Again, your second trimester is going to come at some point. And especially if you are the age that I am, 35, you need a little bit more nap time, right? You need a little bit more sleep in order to produce this healthy, alive, thriving baby, right? So for me, if I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, right? Whether I need to sleep early, go to sleep early, sleep in late. If I need to take 2 naps, I am, right? And this allowed me to, which was my next tip, is let everybody else shine during this time. It's time for you to sit down somewhere and let everybody else shine. What do I mean by that? So if you got parents, grandparents, if you got children, older children, a spouse, a husband, if you got siblings, it's time for you to lean on your village. Especially if you are 35 or older like me. You gonna need your older nieces and nephews, everybody to put their hands in the pot at this point. You're gonna need a little bit extra help, sis. You don't get no award for being superwoman, right? For doing it all on your own. My kids was helping with cooking, cleaning, and laundry a little bit more, especially my oldest daughter, because she's here full time. I have one biological child and 2 bonus children. And so my bonus children, they're here half the week. And then my daughter, obviously, she stays with us full time. And so she has been a rock star. And so she has been taking initiative, getting stuff done when I'm tired. She cooks me breakfast in bed. She'll try to say, hey, do you want some oatmeal today? Do you want this? Do you want that? I opened your window. I'm making some burgers. I closed your door, and I rewarded her and continue to reward her for her effort, right? And so I'm not a proponent as a mom to reward my children for what they're already supposed to be doing because they all are assigned to an area of the house. That's a part of teamwork. You're not getting paid for doing what you should do, is keeping up your household. But if you go above and beyond and take initiative and help me out, if you're helping me out with my own stuff, with my part of the chores, with my part of the team, I'm definitely going to reward you. Whether that's buying you something at TJ Maxx, whether that's taking you out to eat, whether that give you a couple of dollars for you to shop online or you to go on Roblox or whatever the case is, I'm going to do that. So let everybody else shine, right? I called around. I'm like, what y'all cooking for dinner? If it sounded good, I got some food from somebody else. So I didn't have to smell what was being cooked. I could just eat it without having that strong smell and being repulsed by it. Now I'm feeling a lot better. Now I'm going to start attempting to cook. I can definitely do laundry now, but sometimes just the smells, I don't know. But I'm attempting to cook a little bit more and more, and it's been going a little bit better. But yeah, because 13 weeks, second trimester, they say is a golden trimester. And so I'm hoping and praying as a 35-year-old woman that stays the same. Again, I had a child 15 years ago when I was 20, got pregnant at 19 and had her at 20. That's a different ball game than being 35, right? So the name of the game is really trying to maximize my health and my fitness and also my productivity while promoting grace and ease and my soft life, period, because I'm a woman of leisure. Listen, I'm not about to overdo it out here in these streets, even during pregnancy. Okay, you hear me? And you better not either. All right, especially as a 35-year-old pregnant woman, period, or 35-year-old plus pregnant woman. All right. So those are my tips for you for tips and tricks for the first trimester. Let me know in the comments if any of those you're going to try out, if any of them have worked for you. And or if you have some extra tips and tricks for us, let us know in the comments. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe if you have not, and to share this with at least one person that would be interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.